Hi, you guys. Today we're talking about number grids. We actually have one in our classroom. It's at the front of the room. And this is just a quick review about how to use number grid patterns. Now on this here, you see that our numbers are starting at 1 and they go up to 100. All right? Now, as you go across the row, this is a row right here, you increase by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you go from left to right, you are increasing by one number. All right, if you go from right to left, you are decreasing by one number. If you look at going between different columns, like these are the columns right here that go up and down, you'll notice that the last number in each column looks the same. Let's take a look at the 2 row. 2, 12, 22, 32, 42, 52. You'll notice that they all end in 2s. And that's because if you go down a whole row, you are just increasing by 10. So it's like you're adding on 10 to get down to that little square right below that number. So 12 plus 10 would be 22. 22 plus 10 would be 32. Okay? We can also have number charts that are negative. We can have numbers that go below 0. That's what a negative number is, but it's the same thing. There's 10 numbers in a row, and each column has the same last number. You can see here it's 9, 19, 29, with the exception of our negative numbers. That is a little bit of a difference, only because we're ending this first row in 0. But for the most part, your numbers in each column will be the same ending number, and as we go across, you're just increasing by 1 or decreasing if you're subtracting. We like to use number grid puzzles, which I'm a big fan of, and it's like I'm taking a slice of pie from our number grid charts and taking out numbers and making you fill them in, knowing what you know about the number charts, okay? So if you look at this, for example, we know that the number above it has to end in a 7 and the number below 47 has to end in a 7, okay? So that's why we know that 37 is the number that goes above 47 and 57 is the number that we fill in at the bottom. All right, because it's a 10 number difference. 37 plus 10 is 47, 47 plus 10 is 57. We also know if we look back up here that we have to be able to know that every time we go over one square, we're just adding on 1. So that's why we have 48 next to the 47. We can also use number grids to find the difference between two numbers. And if you remember, that's just subtraction. So if I ask you to find the difference between 37 and 64, here's what you could do. You could look at the number 37. You could count one by one all the way over to get to 64, but that's a lot of work, right? So you could look at 37 and hop down to, you couldn't go to 67 because that's too high, but you could go 10, 20, and then you can count ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you would know that 20 plus 7 would be 27, or that would be our difference is 27. So you can use number grids to help you do subtraction and addition problems as well. They're kind of pretty cool that way. We can also have number grids that have any size numbers. This one has numbers that are in the 200s, but you can still see that in each column, all of the last digits are the same, okay? You can have number charts that are number grids in the thousands, in the 10,000s with tons of negative numbers, but every time you see it, it's still going to have 10 numbers across, and you're going to be skipping by 10s as you count down. If we look at a number grid puzzle, and this is be something that you'll see in your math journal that you'll have to use today, we can go ahead and look at this chart and just watch what I'm doing right now. It can also start at any number, but you know the rules now, that every time we go over, it has to increase by 1. So if we start at 541, you would have to do 542. And the next one would be, hopefully you thought 543, 543. Here's 544. Now we have 545. All right? I could continue to go on, and if you would like to do this in your math journal, this is page 3, you are more than willing to do that, to fill out this chart if you feel like you need some more practice. If we look at 541, 551, 561, because I'm just going down the same column, I'm adding on 10. Notice how all my numbers are the same last number. $581, the next one would be 591. And then it would become 601, and I can check my work by that because I look at my number on my neighbor's side over to the right, and it's 602. 601, 602, 603, 604, 605. So the cool thing about this is you can kind of check your work at the same time. All right, I'm going to show you this down here. I'm going to show you number 2. So 54, I know above it would have to be 10 less, and it's going to have to end in the same number, so it would be 44. And down below, I would have to add 10 more on. It's going to have the same last number, so it's going to be 64. I know that one number to the right of 44 would be 45, and one number to the left of 44 would be 43. So if I were to have this on an actual full number grid, it would be 43, 44, 45. Down here where I have other boxes, I know that one number to the neighbor of 64 would be 65. And then one number to the neighbor on the left would be 63. So your job is to go ahead and finish 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is Math Journal, page 3. All right. If you feel like you need a little bit more challenge, I encourage you to do this. You may do number 8 and number 9. Don't forget to take the quiz on our math site that you clicked this video from, and have fun, you guys.